This is question 5 on the March 2011 Unit 1 foundation paper where a calculator is allowed. We have a car park open from 9 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. in the evening. 80 cars enter between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. A quarter of them are silver. How many silver cars enter between 9 and 10? We need to find a quarter of 80. And if you're finding a quarter of anything, you divide it by 4. So I need to do 80 divided by 4. You need to do it on a calculator, you can do. 80 divided by 4 is 20. And that's the answer for that one. Next, it says 115 cars enter between 10 and 11. Kim says exactly a quarter of those cars are silver. Show that she's wrong. Well, to find a quarter, we would have to do that divided by 4. So 115 divided by 4. If you do 115 divided by 4, you will get a number which isn't a whole number. You'll actually get, and if you do it on a calculator, you get 28.75. Now you can't really have 0.75 of a car going into the car park, it doesn't make sense. And that is why she's wrong, because this is not a whole number. So if you do that sum and then write down not a whole number, you will definitely get the mark for that question. Okay, when it says show that she's wrong, you've got to put down a bit of information just to back you up in what you're saying. The next part of the question, a data logging machine counts cars entering and leaving the car park. Doesn't really matter what it's called, it's a machine that's counted the number of cars entering, going into the car park, and leaving the car park. The car park is empty at 9 a.m. How many cars are there in the car park at 10 a.m? Well, 80 cars have arrived, 5 cars have left. So I've got 80, and I've got to take 5 off. That gives me 75, which is the answer for that part of the question. The next part of the question, it says barriers stop cars entering when the car park is full, and it's full at 12 noon. How many cars are in there when it's full? So we've got to find now how many cars there are at 12 noon. So let's look how many have gone in, how many have gone out. So we're going to our table, we only need to go as far as 12 noon. So if we look at what we've got here, I've got 80 coming in, 115 coming in, and then 75 coming in. So I'll add those numbers up a minute, the cars coming in, which is 80 and 115 and 75. And if I add those numbers together, I get 270. And you'll be allowed to use a calculator if you need to. Now again, if we look at how many were leaving, 5 left, so these are cars going out, 5 and 25 and 40. And if I add those up, I get 70. So by 12 noon, 270 cars came in, 70 cars came out. So how many cars were there altogether? It'll be 270, take away 70, which is 200 cars. So the answer to that last part is 200 cars. So if we move on to the next part of the question, we've now got a pie chart showing information about the colours of the car in that car park one day. And we've got some sentences to complete. There are twice as many blank cars as black cars. Well, if we look at the black ones, we've got to find part of this circle, this pie chart, where the space is twice as much as it is for the black. If you look at them, you should really have an angle measurer with you. If you haven't got an angle measurer, you need to just use a pen. Going across there, from the end of that black to that black there, it's about that much with the pen. Blue isn't twice that. Red definitely isn't twice that. If you go to white, it is twice that. White is twice as big as the black. So the answer for that one is going to be white. The next sentence, it says a third of the cars are, and they want us to put a colour in. Well, if you have a full circle and split it into thirds, each third is sort of that shape. It's either that bit there, this bit here, or this bit. So we're saying, can we find a bit of our circle which is equivalent to one of these bits here. There's this bit over here, the silver one. So a third of the cars are silver. The next bit of the question. Are there any purple cars in the car park on that day? Well, purple isn't listed, but there is a section here for other colour cars. So, well, there may be purple cars in here. We don't know. So we can't tick yes. We don't know if there are for sure. We can't tick no. We don't know there aren't for sure. There may be. We can't tell. So we need to tick that box, and we need to give a reason for our answer. So the reason is that some of the other cars could be purple. So other could include purple. So if you write that down, you should get all of the marks for the explanation of that question.